Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. So the patch 4.4 notes just dropped, and I'm really excited to see what the changes are going into the next patch. I'll try my best to provide context on how I think each change is going to affect the meta. This is also the first time I'm seeing these changes, so this will be my initial reaction and first impression of the game moving forward. With that, let's get Detective Tempo on the case. So, getting right into it. It says, welcome to patch 4.4, this is our first standard focus balance patch. We are targeting some of the strongest meta decks and are giving a little love to some decks and archetypes that are coming in just a little under. Patch 4.4 will be live on April 27th. Alright, sounds good. So we're starting off with Cygnus the Moonstalker, a little bit of a classic. He's come in and out here and there. He is a 6 mana 5/3 down to a 5 mana 3/3 elusive. So now he has elusive innately. It's not part of his Nightfall effect, so that's pretty cool. And he's 1 cost cheaper, sacrificing 2 attack to do so. On Nightfall still gives an ally elusive, so that's really interesting. Post-rotation, aggressive Nightfall decks have struggled to feel satisfying with their direct damage tools gone. With these changes, we're looking to put some punch back. Makes a little bit of sense. I do like that he's cheaper. You can play him directly after Nocturne, and that's really cool, because then Nocturne will give everything fearsome, Nocturne himself can become elusive, and that's just a lot of damage. Honestly, this turns on a lot of Nightfall strategies, and just kind of speeds up the deck overall, so it definitely needs more, since it did lose Stygian and also Doombeast, but this is a step in the right direction for Nightfall. The Cloven Way, change from 5 cost 5/4 to 4 cost 4/3. Stun an enemy if it's a follower, stun it again at the next round start. And it still has Overwhelm, I'm assuming, right? So Cloven Way is actually a pretty good card as a 4/4/3. I think that's nice. With the Overwhelm keyword built in, that should go a long way as well for Nightfall. Moondreamer, play Invoke to now play Invoke Nightfall, reduce the card's cost by 1. That's really nice, actually. So Moondreamer has been on the shelf ever since Invoke came out. Like, it is just a kind of meh body for 5. It's a 3/6, it's okay. The Invoke is nice, but like, there's a lot of Invoke stuff in the game. Reducing the card's cost by 1, giving it a unique gimmick to cheat 1 mana from the Invoke is actually really good, especially since this can hit the higher cost cards, right? This can hit the 10 cost, 9 cost, 8 cost, that stuff. Reduce it by 1, that's huge value. This card is really, really good now, actually, in Invoke strategies. It is missing Zoe, since Zoe is in Eternal now, but there are definitely still some good Targon Invoke decks out there, and I think Moondreamer is going to make the cut now. Targonian Tellstones, from Wish, Paddle, Blessing to Behold the Infinite, Hush, and Blessing. Wow, that is a lot better. Behold the Infinite, being able to invoke something, and then Hush, of course, is a really flexible card. Like, you always want a silence effect like Hush, but you don't always want to run it as your card slot, so having the Tellstones is nice. The Blessing of Targon is actually still pretty good, so honestly, this is a great Tellstone change. Azir, level up, you've summoned 13 allies or landmarks to 12, so just a little tiny buff, just reducing the condition by 1. Doesn't really mean a whole lot, but yeah, it's because Azir is not super performing since Xerath is gone from Sundisk, Aurelia is gone from Azir Aurelia, so it's just Azir by himself. Having the extra 1 will be nice. It will come up every so often, depending on what kind of Azir deck you're playing, but yeah, just a small little buff for him. Nasus, from a 2/2 to a 3/3. Another small little buff, because Nasus is missing Thresh Nasus, and he's also missing Kindred Nasus, right? He's missing his dynamic duos. Now it's just kind of Nasus and some self-slay stuff. There's not like a whole lot in the game. We could probably do something like Callista Nasus, but yeah, it's just kind of like a scuffed version of what it used to be, so giving him a little bit of a 1/1 is just the same thing as Azir. Little touch up, but nothing too crazy. Glory's Call, from 6 mana to 5 mana. This card probably still sucks, but it's better at 5, honestly. It's just like really costly to get something that's like more costly, and then you're already behind since you're playing Sundisk without Xerath, so it's kind of okay. I don't expect this to see a whole lot of play, but it could come up. Soul Harvest, so this is the Culling Strike card. Kill a follower with 3 or less, or spend 4 to kill a champion 3 or less, to now, or spend 3 mana to kill a champion with 3 or less. Okay, so just 1 more mana instead of doubling the cost. I think this will see a lot of play now. Soul Harvest will be an auto-include. Now it's probably just better Quietus in my opinion. 3 mana, kill the champions that are problematic. Yeah, that's pretty good. Soul Harvest is looking to fill some big shoes as one of SI's premium removal tools. Since it hasn't filled the gap as we were hoping, we're going to make it a little bit less taxing. Makes sense. Cadrigan, whoa, Cadrigan buff, alright. When I'm summoned, grant other dragon allies everywhere 2/2 to now grant them 4/4. Hey, yo, that is beefy. Kedrigan on 9. I wonder if we can cheat this out. If we can cheat this out early, holy, this is like insane value. For a 9-mana unit, Kedrigan's buff hasn't felt quite infernal enough. We're doubling the output to make sure when he hits the table, his fellow dragons roar. Yeah, I mean, if you're just on like 2 or 3 other dragons and then you play Kedrigan, that's +8/+8 or +12/+12, depending on the dragons that you have out. That's really scary. Kedrigan is really, really, really good. If you can cheat this in any way, that's honestly kind of insane. Really big beat stick. Bit of a turn 9 win con here. I like that. That's really cool. Let's go dragons. Priestess, round start, deal 4 to me, to now deal 4, draw a champion, and grant it 2/2 if your deck start with 6 different champions, summon it instead. So the +2/+2 buff, will that make Priestess good and not a meme? Hard to say. I think this will still remain meme tier just because of the high variance and the deck building restriction and cost that you have to do to make Priestess actually work. It's a little bit sus, but maybe people will try it and like it with the +2/+2. Mirror Image. Summon an exact ephemeral copy of an ally with 5 power to now summon an exact ephemeral copy of any ally. So taking away the 5 power restriction, that's really cool. Can get a lot more synergies and combos off. Vandal Gunners. Ayo, Vandal Gunners, big change. From an 8 cost 7/7 when I'm summoned, if you summon 4 other regions, give me 4 impact, to now 10 cost 5/5 spell shield. I cost 1 less for each multi-region ally you summon this game. When I'm summoned, give me impact 3. So it's -2/2 and -1 impact, but it gets infinitely cheaper if you're playing multi-region stuff. Now this is absolutely broken. Vandal Gunners is probably on average going to be, what, a 5 or 6 cost? If you're like high rolling, that's pretty flipping good. That's actually really good. Honestly, you just put Might on this, then you have a Spell Shield Overwhelm finisher for like Bandle Burn. I think this actually creates like a new identity for Bandle Swarm or Bandle Burn, which I'm both excited and scared of, because Bandle has been a very problematic region when it's strong. It's just way too strong. Now it's lacking Pokey Stick and some other really oppressive tools, but this is really insane for just go wide Unga Bunga aggro with Yordles and Fae and Generators and Tristana, and you can also play Triss Jax. Oh my god, wait. Triss Jax is real again. Yo, this card's really scary, actually. Put like Overwhelm Weapon on this, you can put Scout Weapon on this, and then also just kill the opponent outright. That's wow. Yeah, okay, there's actually a lot of stuff to do with Bandle Gunners. That's really cool, actually. Advanced Intel, going from 1 cost to 2 cost, now also draws 1. I think that's worth. I think Kate Timo needs a cheap and efficient draw card for themselves that doesn't give cards to the opponent. Advanced Intel being a 2 mana, 2 Flash Bombs, draw 1. I'm actually going to start including this in my deck. I dropped Advanced Intel a while back just because there's like a lot better of cards, but this is nice. I like that draw 1. That's really, really good. It also has synergy with the Peddlers. Deathless Knight from 6 to 5. Deathless Knight's a meme, but I do like it. It's a fun meme, so hopefully it's better at 5 cost. Then we can actually see this card have some play. Retired Reckoner, 2 to 3. Another meme, but this one's actually kind of scary because it's an Overwhelm unit in Noxus, which is a very aggressive region. Target. You probably play stuff like Riven with Retired Reckoner. Maybe Riven has like a new mid-game win con now, just with the extra +1 power. It's fine. Nerfs. Alright, we're getting into the nerfs now. First one is a champion here. Level up, you've reduced power 4 to now 5. Okay, slowing down Ashe by 1 level up condition really doesn't mean a whole lot. It's so easy to Frostbite. There's so many ways to reduce the enemy's power in the game nowadays. Ashe was like turbo leveling on 5 half the time, so this is honestly okay. It doesn't really hurt that much. I think this nerf hurts more. Reckoning to 7, that's a really big nerf actually, because like you can't play LeBlanc and then float 2 mana, go into turn 4 with 2 mana, and then immediately start threatening Reckoning, and the opponent can't play the game on turn 4 onwards, alright? You can't do that anymore unless you float all 3 of your mana, so that's a bit tricky from like LeBlanc into turn 4, because now there's no protection for her in case the opponent's just on anything. So yeah, this is pretty hefty of a nerf in my opinion. I think it's still going to be very good. Like, it's still a blowout card, and it still costs, you know, less than 9, which is Ruination, and it's doing a lot more for you by killing everything. So yeah, Reckoning, still pretty good, but this is a hefty nerf. It will definitely be felt. All Out. Give an ally 2/0, plunder 2/2, do not plunder, give 2/1. So this does change things for Samira. She'll die, and the elusive units will die to a lot more things. The HP is pretty important to hit, honestly. That's the more important half of the all-out. So that's pretty nice. That's like... Okay, that's a pretty nice nerf. That's a pretty nice nerf for Samira. That's actually pretty relevant. Burblefish going from 6 to 8. Good. Big cost increase because it's just so easy to play cheap and efficient spells. This is deserved. This will slow down the deck a lot. I'm surprised no Fizz going up to 8 as well, but maybe they want Fizz to go somewhere else and be played outside of Samira, so they don't want to get him too bad, which makes sense. Burblefish is kind of a problem. I'd say Shelly is more of a problem, but oh, Inferno's also getting hit. Hold up. From a 1-5 to 1-4, very small nerf. I don't know how much that matters. Okay. I mean, Samira did get some smacks. They're nothing too insane, but I think Samira Varus, which has been on the rise recently, is probably just going to come out on top, because this is strictly hitting the Samira Fizz list, not Samira Varus. And all out, whatever. Okay. Leona, level up, you've activated Daybreak 4, you've activated Daybreak 5, so the Ash treatment, slowing down Leona by 1 turn, I think this makes a lot of sense. This forces you to play Daybreak 1 extra time before getting the barrier value and getting the Leona level on the summon, so yeah. I mean, I think obviously Sunburn is still going to be very good. It's just that, like, you can't really play non-Daybreak cards like Pigeon and Samira without feeling it, because now you have to play Daybreak every single turn, including Leona's turn 5, to actually get her leveled on 5. She's just going to level on 6 more often, maybe sometimes 7, which really sucks, but more often than not, it's going to be on 6 now. Sun Guardian, 2-3 to 2-2. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big nerf. Sun Guardian was a big pressure tool. He became a very beefy boy very quickly. That kind of sucks. Karma from 4-4 to 4-3. That's it. She dies to 3 damage removal, which we don't have a lot of. That's okay. I mean, I will accept any nerf, so this is pretty fine. Caustic Riff, 3 cost flow 1, 4 cost, I cost 2. Okay, so you have to flow the Caustic Riff. You have to. Otherwise, you're playing it for 4. This is kind of fine. This is a nice nerf. Obviously, I'm going to take it as an aggro player. I don't like Caustic Rift, so this is fine. Drum Solo also getting a nerf. Alright, these Flow P and Z cards were problematic. Who would have guessed? Draw 2, Flow, reduce those cards' cost by 2. Draw 2, Flow, reduce them by 1. Alright, so that actually makes the card a lot less oppressive. You don't have to play around 0 mana Mystic Shot anymore. Just 1 mana Mystic Shot, which is still really cringe, but a lot less so. Foyer, when I'm summoned or when you gain the attack token, summon a band. When I'm summoned, summon a ghastly band. Round star if you have the attack token. Oh, wow. No more scout cheating. Wow. It's a round start effect now, so you have to have the attack token. You can no longer cheat with rallies or with the scout. If you have the attack token, round start. Wow. That is pretty big. That's a pretty big nerf. I expect this to immediately kill Gwen Quinn. I don't think that deck's going to exist anymore because it was abusing Foyer way too hard. Wow. Alright, goodbye that deck. Ambitious Cultist. Once you've equipped an ally of this game, create a new spell that costs 2, says 0, sets cost 0 this round. That's a pretty big nerf for Cultist. Oh, man. Permanent 0 cost was kind of cringe. Yeah, I agree. Ambitious Cultist was casually one of the best cards in the game, no cap. So, this makes sense. Frank, 2-0 move from the pool, 2-0 vulnerable, 2 cost increase for spells, 1 cost increase for non-spells. Franking has been a bit unsatisfying to use due to the outright power of cost increase. That makes sense. We're spreading the power level between prank options more evenly to make pranks more compelling options while also reducing the frustration. Alright, a little bit of a prank rework here, changing some of the thingies. That makes sense. Competitive, yes. With the article, highly recommend reading it. Upcoming events. The next Runeterra Open is set for May 13th and 14th and will be a World Qualifier Open. Very nice. Ranked icons for the season. These look great. Love them. Eternal ones too. Very nice. Path of Champions. Elise is added to Path of Champions. Cool. Miscellaneous starter decks. Unfortunately, decks we had been preparing to release with rotation took longer to cook. We saw your feedback and agree not having standard decks available to stars wasn't ideal, so we're releasing 7 standard decks in our next patch. Additionally, to compensate for the delay, these will be free for all users for a limited time. We look forward to sharing these with you next month, along with more information on how to claim them. Pretty big news, especially for me. I'll be making a video about this. Lore turns 3. Yo, Lore's 3rd year anniversary. That's cute. That's awesome. I don't like that Nora and Bart are the mascots, but I do like the Meeps. The Meeps are cute. Nora, Icon, Emote, Champ card, Nora Icon, Nora Prismatic. 3rd anniversary card back. Very nice. Love that. Happy birthday. Community card kitchen. Very cool. Bug fixes. Yep. Still wondering when we're going to get the bug fixed for, like, the Kane board. I'm so sick of it breathing down my neck every time I try to play the the red cane board, and then it just like continues on even after the game is done. It's so fun. All right, looks good. Overall, pretty good hits. I think the nerfs are definitely better than the buffs. So hopefully we get a new mix of decks and cards and strategies to try. Hopefully some things come up that are more fun. A couple decks did actually straight up die with the nerfs, but yeah, the buffs are a little bit lackluster this time, not really giving me any immediate inspiration to try something new, but there are some nice little tweaks here and there. And that's it for this one. Please like and subscribe if you thought this video was informative or entertaining. It really helps me out. I'll be releasing more deck profiles, guides, and gameplay highlights in the near future. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!